girl that keeps you up at night like everyone has me. I said, I'll mount my 50 caliber machine gun for the days off. I'd smile and say, just a girl I met online. Knowing how stupid these words sounded as I said them aloud. But my response towards many people's sarcasm was short and simple. How many girls do you remember having endless talks with? How many women are worth so many sleepless nights? The list was short, but if you knew what I was talking about, knew what I was feeling, then I'd gone on to marry them. So I took that as a sign I wasn't alone. That I wasn't completely out of my mind. I remember this one instance being on a training mission with my battalion one week. And them telling us that we're going to be released as soon as we got back on a Friday. Well, the Marine Corps being what it was with the poor planning, we didn't get off until 7 p.m. that night. After staying all night, up all night, training new guys, and waiting all day to be released, I packed up my truck and drove 10 hours just to see Kari. I couldn't honestly rationalize doing anything else. Or at the time she would do the same, driving all the way up to Camp Lejeune to see me. Then once she was on the worst things of these trips, like the time my friend got his truck stuck in a mud hole on a Friday night. We ended up spending the entire weekend with him, helping him get it out of there. She never complained, not once. Her whole weekend that time was spent watching me help my friend. And all I could tell you was that he would have done the same for me. But you said that was fun. Now you wouldn't have had it any other way. Or the time her Jeep broke down on the interstate while on her way up here to come visit me. We got it fixed, and the next night somebody broke in and stole her iPod, phone, and everything else that wasn't nailed down. She still smiled and took it all in stride. Lucky. Some people say that that's what I am when I tell them about her. I can't argue that fact at all. All it would have taken for all the years that I've loved this woman would have been a simple power outage the day I talked to her that first time. And they happen weekly over there, in fact. I have a friend who tells me to shut up about her as I'm driving from job to job because he's sick of hearing about her. He looked at me one day and said, "You talk about her as though you just met and everything is new and exciting." After years of being together, being a family, a new baby, how? I just smiled and said, "I'm lucky, I guess." Before we actually met, we had laid it all out for one another to see. All the faults, insecurities, and demons we carried with us. And still we never flinched. There was no other ending written for us other than being together until fate takes us. Love. Love is a word often used, I think. Too often used, I think. There should be a stronger word than just love to express the way I feel for you, Kari Ann Marshall. But the L word was what we both refused to say from the beginning days of this union we now find ourselves in. It felt wrong confessing that feeling to a person I had never actually met before. But still it came naturally, and I said it to a computer screen for a woman who was thousands of miles away. But I never typed it out because logic dictated so. I had never met you. I had never seen you walk around half asleep in the morning, thinking how cute you are, and wanting nothing more than just to pull you back into bed with me, held firmly in my arms. Or I never knew how you could calm me with a touch or a word, when an entire fifth of Walker Red wouldn't have done the same. I didn't know that word which held such power would fall so epically short while I write this now. The love of old will be a thunderstorm over the Gulf compared to a hurricane of emotions I feel for you now. The word is now unstoppable, unassailable, and a torrent of never-ending emotions I can't fathom living without. I love you, Kari Ann Marshall. Until fate takes my last breath, I will always love you.
we thought we were crazy for feeling the way that we did was completely irrational, illogical, and amazing. But it was real, and one of the most honest, most true things I have ever known. The weeks were seemingly endless before you came home from Iraq, but well spent getting to know everything about each other. Talking together for hours at a time, both of us willing to sacrifice sleep or just talking a little bit more. We talked about our goals and our dreams, and even what our unborn children would look like, even to our first kids. Then came the moment you dropped your bags and jumped over the curb to kiss me. That is when I knew I would be yours forever. And I memorized that scene in my mind as one of the most romantic things I have ever experienced, and it was just one of many scenes that have been etched in my mind that I'll never want to forget. The balance that we bring to each other from the whole first moment that you hold me to this day is unmeasurable. You keep me sane, and keep me calm. We really are each other's better halves, and we bring out the best in each other. I am the most comfortable in your presence, and I feel the safest in your arms. I have never felt more beautiful than there. And I have never, ever felt more loved. You are a blessing to me and a kid. Blessing to the sun. Even after all these years we have been together, my heart still melts to know that you love me. Even when it's at the odd random times. And just thinking about your laugh always makes me smile. All the little things you do, I can treasure and enjoy. Even on the bad days, I can't wait to see the next day. We have a love that most people will spend their entire lives longing for and wishing for, and will never have. The love of fairy tales and epic romance novels. And there's no words written by any man in any story that even comes close to the depth of my love. And I'm honest in life.
All right.